Name, Adam Diaz. Purpose, to provide a clear factual history concerning my relationship with Antonia Sharkey, my daughter April, and related life events.
It's like, look at that. That's crazy.
I know, right?
In terms of dating, I didn't really have too many opportunities, so I really appreciated this when I did have it.
April was born in 2015. Shortly afterward, Antonia ended the relationship and restricted my contact with our daughter.
If you use your heart and do whatever you want instead of using your brain and following the law, you're going to end up in trouble like me. The way I was acting between 2022 and 2024 was with my heart. Now, in 2025, I need to think with the law. In 2022, I was invested in air guns, but later on, in 2023, I invested in black powder pistols, like the Iver Johnson. I do not recommend buying this pistol unless you're a gun collector and someone who is allowed to have firearms. Based on the evidence that I've gathered, I've noticed that Hispanic families have a harder time in family court without funds. In 2024, I surrendered 2 black powder pistols. These antique pistols are easy to acquire, but you can actually end up with felony charges and suffer the consequences of going to prison 2 years later after you make such a mistake. That's when they'll get you. So you might have your fun for 2 years being able to buy such an item, but the moment that this item reaches the public, if it was ever to be revealed, then that person would end up in prison. That's right. That's how serious this charge is. And that's why I need to make this video to warn you not to buy a black powder pistol. And I also want to be allowed to have a weapon. It doesn't have to be a firearm necessarily, but I want a weapon sufficient enough in order to defend myself against a bear without threatening the law enforcement. I also want to have the ability to defend myself from, more than just wildlife, but other people as well, since I've been shot at. I want to take a moment to show you my scars. So this is going to be my left arm, and I want to show my chest real quick so that we see the amount of damage that my body has endured. Okay, so I have a mirror that I'm using in order to assist me with this camera footage. So these are entry points from when I was shot at. And I also have scarring on my right arm here, and also on the bicep. So pretty much they used metal in order to help repair the bone, and the bone grew around the metal, which is pretty interesting, and it increased the arm size significantly, which is interesting, but I need to train the muscles more in order to be more useful. I mean, honestly,